best of just head-on-head battling things out when it just comes down to headshots. But it should still be interesting as we seem to be ready to head in to map 1.
Just a quick couple of thoughts on predictions. I'm going to go you 2-1 to LDLC. You thinking the same thing?
I'm just going to be bold out here and say 2-1 for Bad News Bears.
Okay.
I think we're heading to 3 map. I just don't know, to be honest. I mean, I'll just float it out there just to be random, and if something happens, then I guess I'll just be right. But yeah, not really too many brains behind my prediction, to be honest. Of course, our friends over at 1xBet keeping it 1.5 towards LDLC and 2.63 for Bad News Bears, so slightly favoring, but not heavily as right now. Hadji already finding Shake Zula in that pistol. Oh, back to John. The dual Beretta is out, but it is going to be Swisher with that USP to actually find the kill and bring things back. Maybe still in for a chance here for Bad News Bears.
Swisher going out towards the duel. He does get away with one, but now it comes down to the Moto players that just can't really get peeked in. Kiosk going to be able to get away with a couple of kills. Up with Hadji as well. And for LDLC, it's a pretty simple take. They start the util out towards that bracket position, go quite quickly in towards the short control, just get that bomb down. And just some of the fights being taken out towards short looks very clinical there for the T side. LDLC just overwhelming their opposition. And for Bad News Bears, they're going to be forcing it up going into round 2.
Yeah, I think it's the right call to make, just to try and be all up in their face. And yet again, we do see the shotgun coming out for Swisher, and then a couple of pistols alongside that, so especially 3 Deagles and the CZ as well. The utility yet again, not doing too much damage though. Swisher might just get caught here. The thing is, of course, he can work with this on the shotgun, does find Chaos. Do check back for him, and Lambert is going to find a double. B bomb site open for that. And now, of course, the bomb should be following in quite quickly. Certainly taking their sweet time with that.
A little bit disappointing.
Not really too dangerous on a rotation either.
Yeah, a little bit disappointing that there was no follow-up there. Like, you do so well to getting that opening a kill with the shotgun up close and personal, but just being able to not quite establish that crossfire. And for Lambert, I mean, hats off to him, the way that he played in and around that smoke, because he made it look easy to get those couple of kills.
Again, the fact that Bad News Bears don't rotate anything over, I mean, I can respect the fact that they just want to keep on those Deagles and use those in the next round still to come. But at the same time, I would have thought that maybe after finding 1 kill already, could have had a chance to probably even get more of that in towards Banana. However, right now, Peter just holding in towards CT, does deal a little bit of damage. Be surprised if you actually go hunting for it. Peek from Hadji comes out to actually find that headshot, and does Sixer go for this with the MAC-10? The rest of the team has picked up better weaponry. At the same time, I mean, it's only one player that's really playing for bonus. Everybody else has an AK or a Galil at their disposal. Sixer's not going to be dropping down. Fine with that, and in the end, it is going to be 2-0 at the start, which was to be expected after winning Pistol.
LDLC are one of those teams that it's a comfortability pick coming into Inferno, and for B&B, you could probably assume that if you have the expectation that LDLC are going to lose your game, and you kind of do as well, you can start preparing just looking at the sides of the brackets because you know sort of who's going to be playing who. I wonder how much anti-stratting B&B have been able to do coming into Inferno, knowing that LDLC love this map. Still these MAC-10s up for Lambert and Sixer. Great opportunity for those two in particular going into round 3 to just try and farm as much as they can.
I mean, that's what it's all about in these sorts of rounds when you're still up against a couple of pistols, and especially the deals might not be as easy to beat, but especially a P2000 or a P250 with a MAC-10, just 1,000 bullets a second it feels like sometimes. And that high rate of fire on the close range is just so dangerous, of course. However, top mid, top rack and control is going to be theirs. Only Peter towards this A bomb site, and right now, he might just get caught by Sixer. All depends though. We know how strong these Deagles can be. Well aware of one player being in towards the apartments, close right at the edge of this smoke. But of course, spots feet out first. I like the fact that Sixer isn't overreaching just yet, just making sure, taking his time, same as the rest of the team.
this gamble stack, unfortunately, out towards the B side. PTR just trying to see if he can get away with a couple of pop shots. Nice headshot coming onto Kios, so a little bit of damage being done on the Eco so far, waiting for the drop down. Gets away with a tag, so far so good. Can they follow up with anything else? The flash over the top, and this Eco is actually getting some decent damage.
Yeah, that's the thing, even with the USB, Jonji finds a kill, recovers a MAC-10 from it. I mean, sure, it's not really the weapon that you want to play in the next round because you will have to buy anyways. I mean, right now, Pressure as well, just holding on to this. Sixer dealing damage. And right now, this retake, even still dangerous. Sixer drops down to 24. Maka at least finds a kill, so does Hadji. And now it's all just to shut things down. And Hadji does find 3 towards the end. Could have been a lot closer. But I think Bad News Bears are happy just to grab 2 kills from that. In the end, I mean, you lose, what, 1 Galil and a MAC-10 on the side of LDLC? Which, I mean, you would have been fine to upgrade to AKs anyways at some stage, so it's not really the biggest loss, and they did end up winning that round anyways, so still a decent amount of cash left in their reserves. Of course, as long as they actually win this round as well. Otherwise, some players might already be back down towards a save, but of course, Sixer and Maka, alongside Hadji, they can then supplement the rest of their team. Down to 1 HP after the nades.
That's a lot of damage. A lot of damage to start off the round. Just anti-rush nades coming through from Bad News Bears straight towards that banana position. But LDLC, they're not giving up on it. They're still here. They're going to go for a double pump now.
And right now, the push is going to be coming through. Switch already holding on to it. The flashbang was nice, though, to keep them back. Not sure. I mean, Peter actually finding one straight before that smoke actually blooms. And in the end, I mean, the CT defense is still looking so strong. Sure, Sixer and Hadji both finding kills. They probably could have gone for different kills themselves and then would have survived for a little bit longer. Which brings things down to a 3-on-3 in the post plan. Players coming in from all directions. Peter already knows that one player, at least, is going to be towards Shadow. And Sixer with 1 HP at the top of Banana. He needs this kill right now. Chixula giving away his position. Due to his utility already. The barrel spotted out, still finds that kill. Sixer needs that one. And then the round becomes a lot more doable for LDLC right now, though. Peter's going to be dropped by Lambert. Hadji to find his kill as well. And all down to Sheikh Zula, who's already been tagged down. So 1 bullet would suffice. It's a headshot again for Hadji as well.
Hadji's playing to a very, very high standard here on T's side. And for Sixer, it's a little bit of a whiff towards that top of banana position, but he is relatively low. He does do a lot of damage onto Sheikh Zula, just not even being pre-aimed at all, not even being checked when he comes in for the retake, just trying to set nades up for the whole sort of retake itself to help the players out from CT spawn. But it does seem for LDLC that once they get that bomb down, their post plants are incredibly strong so far.
And I'm sure that they'll continue along those lines as well. Right now, though, first message is, of course, Bad News Bears straight back down to the Eagles. They're going to try and do their best. I mean, they were quite strong on that before. But of course, LDLC taking their time on their own build-up, and it's all about just playing it down as safe as possible. That is that clinically as possible. Use the essence bomb when it comes down to it. Chaos. Nice way as Sheikh Zula was caught off guard. The flashbang was nice for Maka. Nice to have that early advantage.
That was an interesting decision to see Chaos going back into the French team because that's where he sort of started really early in his career. But for the majority of it, right, it was playing in the CIS team with Simon and K23 and then deciding to go back over towards French team of LDLC. Both him and Maka being signed in the very early portions of this year. Bit of a role change as well that Maka's now started main AWPing, where Sixer's gone a little bit more hybrid, so secondary AWPing here or there, but mainly rifling. Util towards this bracket's take, and well, for Bad News Bears, they do have a lot of players in and around this A side, but it doesn't mean that's where the bomb's leaning over to.
Oh, Jonji yet again, close range of that smoke. This time, though, it is going to be Lambert to come out on top, finding that kill. And straight in towards CT. The other 3 players for Bad News Bears all focused on this A-bomb site. LDLC, of course, they pick up the pace, still making sure that nobody is around. At the end, it's a clean bomb site. 5th round coming up as expected. Bad News Bears, of course, will get another. Back at this, we'll have a proper rifle round coming up as well. And in that rifle round, really just pulling no stops, having everything at their disposal that they'd like. I think that an AWP is going to make a difference on the CT side right now. As surely they can one up.
That's what they need, a little bit of extra, and that helps the economy. That means that at least one of the riflers doesn't need to upgrade to an M4. They've got an AK instead. Can they get any more than that?
There's a great chance to maybe even just grab utility and drop an op.
Yeah.
Rather than having the non-utility opper into it. Certainly there, thanks to that rifle.
Yeah, very decent chance. Bad news bears, though. Gotta wonder what they need to change up. We know that in terms of utility, they've done very well down towards that banana position, but in terms of an opening man advantage and an opening pick, it hasn't come easy at all. LDLC, they look really rock solid in this early portion of the T side.
Yeah, I mean, I think as expected as well, you win pistol, you kind of just get going. Sure, they had a couple of close calls where Bad News Bears almost were able to make their way back in, but then LDLC just about were able to knock things down and then keep 2-3 players alive themselves. I mean, Haji right now above 10k, so is Maka. The rest is close. I mean, even if they lose 1 or 2 rounds, they can still buy up. And I think that's the main thing for them right now as well, that literally even if Bad News Bears win a round and they maybe only keep 1 player alive, then still the next round is going to be so much more challenging because LDLC just continue on with that. The only real chance that they have at winning a couple of rounds consecutively is either just being too strong, or then for the other part just saying, okay, well, we're just going to get a cup. Just keep on being on the brink of bankruptcy on the side of the CTs. You ideally just keep 4 players alive when winning here.
Very good start coming through for that AWPer, just being able to leg up Chaos. So at least for Peter, being able to change up his position a little bit. Great flashbang in from that Brax's position, but AWP still finds one and makes it a second.
Yeah, and that's the thing that we were looking forward to the most, I think, as well. Sure, the round isn't won just yet, and Mac actually trades things back. It is all going to be down to Haji, though, already spotting out a leg. And with that, the bomb is dropped for the moment towards Long, and Haji has to recover that first. 33 HP. Smoke out towards Long. Definitely the right call to make. And they themselves will be expecting him to maybe even come from a different position. 50 seconds buys him a lot of time. Maybe even a chance to go for a longer rotate.
Where does he go with this?
Bad News Bears fall back into Arch.
Yeah, they're playing it cautiously, aren't they? They're playing it really safe. And for Bad News Bears, as long as you've got bomb control and you've got eyes on it, just play passive. Let Haji come to you.
Question is, does he find a smoke here? No.
Oh!
Switch to the AWP, but he doesn't need it. Flashbang still at his disposal. Molotov as well. Certainly the right choice to go for that. Where is the last player? Where is Swisher right now? 100 HP on him. And of course, Haji has to recover the bomb first, but actually makes it through. The Molotov gave him a little bit of extra time, a little bit of a head start, but 10 seconds. Turns back, and Swisher tries to go hunting before the bomb is planted. Of course, Haji wins that battle. 4 kills for him. Just keeps his team in. Right now, Top Fang as well. 13 kills, hasn't died once.
Welcome to EUCS, boys. My goodness, what a clutch coming in through for Haji. The way that he's isolating those fights, the way that he peeks onto library, just instantly gets that tap, and then even baits that he's just moving into the side to get the bomb down. That was such a well-played clutch to come through for Haji. And you're right, 13-0. This man's a monster.
Yeah, I mean, literally just by himself, finding 1 kill more than the rest of his team. Chaos now brings that level, but still, it's a tremendous performance from him. And the rest of the team isn't exactly doing bad. The shots they needed to hit, they're hitting right now. It's just that Haji is a little bit quicker than everybody else and just finding an average of 2 kills per round for the moment as well. And of course, with the early kill from Chaos onto Jonji, then, yeah, Shake Zula and Spongy from the Eagles. Peter might be their best hope. He does find 1 kill as well, just to trade things back.
He's been the most impressive player so far for Bad News Bears, the way that he's getting flashed off angles, but still hitting consistent shots. A little bit of a lurk coming through for Haji out from this long position. Might just get faced on with these city side players on rotation, or just comes down to a matter of information.
Love the rotate from him right now. His peak is so vital. Does find Lambert as well. Can he find the next? I mean, the bomb is still going to be moving towards the bomb site. Haji right now into CT. Nice for him to actually find Swisher, because now he'll be right in behind Peter as well, if he wants to. The smoke is going to dissipate. Oh, unfortunate there. as he shoots just a tad too early before actually having all the info. Zula being checked, but he finds two. And then, of course, Sixter through the box. It's easy to spray down, but it came down a lot closer than it needed to be. And certainly, I mean, digging at the bottom line of LDLC's money, but they've won 7 rounds in a row, and 5 of those were with 3 to 4 surviving players. I mean, going down to just 1 surviving and still winning rounds doesn't really make a difference.
Coming to a spot, though, where you can see Bad News Bears trying to make it competitive in these last couple of rounds. Again, PDR just having a decent round, and unfortunately, that clutch just not being able to come through. Shakezilla with a very, very good hold towards the back of the site with the Deagle. LDLC, though, I mean, they're just adding more rounds to this tally, and Bad News Bears are just yet to get started on CT. Swish has been caught very early on. And you've got to wonder in terms of confidence, is this going to be rocked at all when LDLC have just mowed consistently?
Yeah, I think it surely is in the back of their minds that, okay, well, how does one get back out of this situation? What does LDLC continue to do? And what is the solution then for Bad News Bears? I think one part here as well is just, of course, that the CTs need to find an early advantage, need to maybe find a double kill at the start of a round, to then really go head to head.
And brought a lot of players over towards that B site early, had a couple of retaking nades, but didn't end up going anywhere aggressive towards that top of banana position. Instead, just slowing it down. And for LDLC, they're just selling an A-fake.
Love this as well. They do still have 2 players here ready and waiting in wait. However, Jonji, very important from him. Smoke now out, does find damage. And his backup player, of course, is Wisher, still up top towards Flower Pots. However, doesn't find a kill there. With Lambert finding the kill in the rotation of Peter. And even finding another on Shakezilla. I mean, this is just all falling apart for them. Sure, Swisher's able to find one, but it's all going to be down to Spongy. And in a 1v3. And with maybe, yeah, Sixter just shutting him down here. It's just straightforward. LDLC grabbed the lead towards halftime already. And this might be, at least from the start, the one-sided game that we've seen thus far here on the C-Stream.
Yeah, it's looking that way. It really is. Bad News Bears having a much more difficult time in that last round than maybe some of the previous have been. And just the way in which they're getting scrambled. We're seeing so many lurk setups. Lambert somehow keeps getting into Long and Arch and CT Spawn without really being detected. And seeing some big holes in the defense there for the Bad News Bears. Maka getting faced off against a fair bit of utility, but doesn't miss those, does he?
Yeah, no problems for him there. And sure, yet again, I mean, it is only the pistols, and it might not be as dangerous. Sure, they've been strong on Deagles as well. The way that LDLC has just been playing it, clinically, waiting, just getting their headshots as well. I mean, their headshot rate seems to be very high as well in their own right.
Another one of these sort of fake plays. It seems like they are trying to see if they can really start scrambling the CTs, trying to just get them to over-rotate. You've got a couple of smokes down towards the B side, a couple of players to finish, and even look at the response. 60 just waiting out for the Apps aggression, and it just comes as soon as they put the util on B.
Yeah, and in the end, Sixer just still holding on, not even further aggressing, just staying in the exact same position. You might expect him to rotate away. No, he now does further damage, knows, okay, one more player is definitely still towards the apartments. Maka finds Peter, and with that timing, that might just be off enough where you say, okay, well, I did a lot of damage. He is probably tagged up, and I'll grab an assist for it at the end. But, I mean, LDLC, perfect timing. Chaos follows them into CT. The B-bomb set is just open.
Jeez, some of these rounds just look incredible for LDLC. The way in which they get the first pick, and they just force mistakes. They just keep getting the CTs to overpeak. Chaos then hears them rotating away from B, so they realize the B side's completely opened up, switches on the other side. Easy headshot to come through for Chaos. Shakezilla just hoping to get an exit kill, do a little bit more damage, but LDLC gonna go up 9-0 on their map pick.
At the same time, I mean, Shakezilla will never expect a player to now be jumping up towards the apartments or to be in towards second mid already into those positions where right now LDLC are just, well, hunting around the whole map, knowing, okay, well, he has to be somewhere towards A. B and CT are all clear. Right now, Shakezilla might still be able to find one. He does, but then it drops to Sixer. Timing just a little bit off there, unfortunately, for the one player. But in the end, I mean, it's 9-0. You already said. I mean, right now, this is just pure dominant game from LDLC, and just feels like men against boys in this one. With another timeout being called here for the Bad News Bears. Now 9-0. I mean, don't get me wrong, but like double digits is like fair and square on the table right now. And when you consider the best players on the side of Bad News Bears have 5 or 6 kills, Sixers and Lambert and Chaos right now being the lowest kill players on the side of LDLC, all already have 6 themselves. Of course, Haji right now, 144 ADR, is carrying his team to this lead.
Yeah, he's doing very well on the frag count, but it's even just the way in which the discipline is there for LDLC. The protocols are in place, and I have a bit of a chat with their coach, Matt Cow, here for Bad News Bears. We know that he had a bit of a time coaching that Rugrats squad, get a bit of experience going, and just hope to try and calm the lads down, because some of these rounds have been close, and they have been competitive. It just shows by the scoreline that they haven't been closing and converting. Got to remember a couple of clutch situations came through for LDLC too. Peter with this AWP has been very quiet these last few rounds, but that one doesn't get a connection, but instantly trying to fall back towards the site. He does get caught off, but they've got the man advantage.
Yeah, and right now already the Molotov putting further pressure on towards a pit player right now, though. Spongy, his position should be well known, as Sixer did find Sheikh Zula. It is now down to Spongy towards pit. Jonji and Swisher still already coming around. The bomb has been planted in the meantime. However, I mean, even with Swisher finding Maka and the one player still being in towards pits, Lambert might be in trouble here. Players to all directions for him right now. Can he isolate things? However, no, he can't. Now it's all down to Sixer. He himself, he's in trouble. As Spongy finds that last headshot. Finally, Bad News Bears find a round before LDLC make it double digits. But of course, 9 rounds in a row means that Chaos has $13,700. Maka was close to 15k himself. And of course, everybody can buy themselves and then still for rounds to come. And I think that's the most important part. Like, Maka and Chaos both should drop a weapon rather than Sixer and Lambert investing themselves. Because that way, at least you have a little bit of money that you can then still get in the sense of a round win bonus. Considering, of course, that LDLC have been so dominant, I would be surprised if Bad News Bears now just come straight back.
Oh, crack shot coming through! Chaos! Oh my goodness! He just opens up that top banana position, makes it look easy! He takes like 20 damage! What?
And both players on headshots as well. Flashbang smokes now coming out. Shazilla still towards the side. He didn't expect a third player to be here. And guess what? Number 4 is also here in their own right. But LDLC, I think, okay, well, if there's 2 more players over towards B, we might as well just try and rotate back over. Do they expect Peter to be here? Has to scope in. They hear that from a mile away. Right now, Haji trying to close that distance. However, Peter doing his best and dealing damage. Buying time as well for him and the team. Maka now down to 16. And by now, Spongy is here as well to try and retake it before the bomb site even fully goes lost. It worked out for him as well. Just this round, similar to the previous, just a whole back and forth in the matter of seconds.
Maka needs to try to isolate these picks. Ooh.
Seen both of them.
Yeah, he has, but he's so low. Does he just save the AWP at this point? I mean, money's still a defining factor, so maybe just try to look to do a little bit more economic damage onto Bad News Bears. And that's a surprisingly strong hold coming out for the CT side. When you think they try to sell it at the B side, there's a 4-on-3 advantage coming through from LDLC. There's 1 player on A of PTR, and that's it. He's the only player to defend. Rotations coming in really, really quickly. And just that AWP for Peter really finding some form. He hasn't had a massive amount of kills, but the ones he's had so far have been very, very high impact.
Yeah, it just works out so well for Bad News Bears in the end. And I mean, there as well, you already said it. I mean, yes, sure, they do find the entries over towards the B-bomb site, but then somehow just Peter is strong enough to hold on on the A site in towards pit until then Spongy actually arrives. And I mean, that just worked out perfectly. The fact that they, on the side of LDLC, just don't kill Peter in towards pit, just lost them that round. Because everything else looked just so strong. But yet again, the timing for Bad News Bears, they're so quick to rotate from site to site. And that's something that LDLC could also take advantage of.
Yeah, very much so. I guess even in that last round, it probably frustrates Chaos knowing that they weren't able to convert with a just couple of insanely quick double entries up towards the top of Banana, and that they just don't commit with it. Instead, they slow it right down and unfortunately run in towards an AWP and run into CTs just willing to dive into the site and do everything they can to stop that bomb from going down. B&B starting to find a little bit of form here on CT, but it's all about continuing to follow up rounds and continuing to put pressure on LDLC.
Molotovs and nades, of course, coming out towards Banana. Always what happens, just the equipment battle in towards Banana here on Inferno. Of course, we have gotten quite well versed here on the C stream when it comes down to Inferno. Third time seeing it to date. Both of our best of ones ended up on Inferno, and right now we'll of course have a full-on best of 3. Mirage and Nuke still to come on after this. The way that LDLC is playing, if they can now get back into their winning ways, only allowing Bad News Bears 2 rounds, then who knows in which way this best of 3 still develops.
Now, even this setup, Bad News Bears have got the wrong read. They've got 3 players over towards that B side. Kelson's probably still going to be there to pull the distraction or at least have a little bit of a lurk play. Peter's actually going to move into the site, hearing a lot of footsteps out in long.
Oh, and Shakesilla is going to be seen, of course, by Lambert. Swisher right now is going to be ready for this. Do they check in towards Ruins immediately, though? Because right now the check comes over the jump involved as well on Lambert. Dirty the way that he finds Swisher. Just Jonji. Last bit of hope here as well. Does at least find one, but of course dropping down to 28, finds a second as well. How does he even do this? Surely not, as Haji is going to find the next. Bungie coming in from CT though, and the bomb being dropped with 10 seconds to go. Peter finding a double. And yet again, Bad News Bears on rotation, just too insane, and one player on a bomb site, making the massive difference that LDLC start to stumble.
I don't really know how they're recovering these rounds because they're in a lot of situations in which the round already looks lost. The round just doesn't even look like it's going to be possible. Jonji towards the back of Dark just gets away with a double kill. Flash comes high over one of his teammates rotating in from CT. Continues to do follow-up damage onto Sixer onto the side. And then you've got Swisher and PTR just working together really, really quickly on CT. Double AWP kill comes in again. And LDLC, now, finally, we're in a bit of a position where money isn't as pretty as it once was.
Yeah, I think one part as well, though, they stick to that 2K mark. Sixer even keeping more money in the bank because he knows, I mean, 2.9K coming up does mean that in that next round, another buy is possible. And that's why, yes, forced down, but only forced down to that 2K mark. I love the fact that Maka brings in the AWP as well. It surely could have maybe even just dropped 2 rifles rather than going for the AWP. But I think it's at least nice for everybody to be back level at the same amount, and rather than to force all the way down to say, okay, well, I concede on this round, but then we'll try our best in the next or the coming chaos. Imagine if he would have found that headshot. Just not like that, though, as Jonji is able to retreat, and Shakesilla already dealing damage. Should be pretty straightforward from here on out.
Now, Peter up into the apartments. Haven't really seen him play in this angle all too often. Lambert catches the first. Oh my goodness, there's a 2-for-1 with the TK coming into the mix. Maka might even be able to catch the player off from Library. Spongy on the side continuing to do damage. And LDLC, now that bomb's still out towards second mid.
Yeah, but are they aware of everybody literally being over towards the A bomb site right now? Maka holding on to this, which is then going to give the security for the bomb to make it up towards Banana. Steps in towards mid right now, though, as Jonji is going to take damage. Haji there to return, though, so it's back down to a 2-on-2. They do not have a smoke, though. Cross safely. One is still here. Spongy holding on, just moving through as it does start to dissipate. Bomb's going to get planted, and this is already a W for LDLC when it comes down to it. Finding 3 kills, getting a bomb down in a round like this, and maybe even still being able to win it. Spongy down to 48. Chances now for Haji on the Tech 9. to find one more.
Just trying to see if he can isolate some of these fights. He knows exactly where both these CTs are, just trying to play time, get the headshot forward, peek out onto the AWP. PTR gonna win another clutch for Bad News Bears. This guy has really been bringing them out of some very, very uncomfortable situations. LDLC, if I'm gonna be honest, they probably should have won a lot more rounds than 9 at this point. They have had so many man advantage rounds in which they just haven't been able to close it.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Still LDLC, they find 4 kills, I guess is enough, but at the same time, Haji didn't need to peek up against Peter at the end of that. I mean, he could have just held on and waited for a defuse. If a nade comes flying in and then he falls, and sure, that's bad luck. At the same time, I mean, sure, 9 is already a decent start. Their opponents can only make it to 6, but right now, Swisher, how is he even still alive? Finally gets traded back, but Lambert, I mean, to be honest, Swisher should have fallen to 6er at the same time. Flashbang saving there a little bit. At least they're able to trade things back.
Check that player out towards the apartments and have a little bit more of a aggressive lean. Maka trying to see if he can maybe have a bit of a walk through that smoke with his teammates. But for Bad News Bears, they're lucky to be able to get away with a 1-for-1 trade out for that top of banana position, especially when Swisher got naded as hard as he did. 2 players up towards this balcony position, both on top of one another.
Crazy things here from Bad News Bears. At the same time, LDLC have never really committed to then actually pushing through from that balcony area. You're just holding on towards apps. Shakesilla will be the last point of return when smokes actually come down, and then the push happens towards the bomb site. Right now, big focus in towards shorts and big focus in towards pit, as that has always been the position where Peter starts hiding with his AWP. Now they know, okay, there's at least one MP9 in towards mini pit. Could there maybe even be a second? Are they sure of themselves now? Shakesilla comes into play, and there you go. I mean, it's an easy way just to find another kill to return it here. But at the same time, they're aware of 2 players being here. Where's the third? Chaos.
Oh, Shakezilla's struggling out from mini pit. Needs a little bit of assistance, and Haji just drops down on him. Right from above, Chaos does swing. They swing together. Make sure they find that instant trade. And for Bad News Bears, that just wrecks the economy completely going into round 15. No money whatsoever. Not only are they not going to even get close to an AWP, but they're not even going to get close to M4s.
Yeah, and that's the big thing as well. I mean, for their next round, it's not going to get any better. So, I mean, you have to just invest into this as best as you can. Hope for a miracle on those deagles. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that they actually find a couple of kills on those. But yeah, again, LDLC, fully equipped. They have everything at their disposal. They themselves would be reset if they lose this one, but at least would have a couple of SMGs. But, yeah, I mean, this is the last round of the first half. So, of course, all coming down to this. Deals coming down. 3 Ds in hand. Damage early on, though, up against Lambert and Chaos certainly opens the door for those deagles to find a lot more damage.
Ooh, the info play. Peter. Depends on how far forward he goes, but really, even when they get this information, it's going to be so slow for them to rotate out from the apartments over the B side, and the execute's already coming in.
I'm not sure why they don't push mid or in towards CT a little bit quicker than this. Jonji right now still holding on and at least causing panic as Wisher chimes in as well with that deagle. Finding one, looking for a second right now, has already dealt that damage towards Lambert. Sure is going to be dropped, but Jonji even further able to delay, and right now the CT's already here on rotation. The bomb hasn't been planted into CT already is Peter. I mean, right now he's holding on as well, all going to be down to 6er. And there's rifles there, there's a little bit of equipment still to work with. 6er doesn't really have the space to go for a smoke here.
Just trying to take a bit of a pop shot, isn't he? Get that smoke down towards top banana, but really in this sort of a situation, Bad News Bears, they're just trying to make sure peek together if we have to. If not, just try and play time, because 20 seconds left. 6er's got to make a move.
And he has to go down towards pool first and try and grab that bomb. Of course, all those steps heard here. Peter is going to catch him out, and of course, if he doesn't find the kill, Shakesilla would have been in position. So it's going to be 10-5 here at halftime. LDLC still double digits with a good lead. We'll have to see how that transfers into the second half still to come after this.
notice you. Oh, my head is spinning wrong.
And just as NIP beat Mousesports on the first map in the upper bracket best of 3 on Mirage, we head over to the second half. And Tyler, bad news bears, the rounds have come far and few, but at least they've tried to make it as competitive as possible.
Yeah, I think at least they've found 5 rounds is one good thing to have, but LDLC, of course, trying to pick up this second pistol as well. It is their own map pick here on Inferno. We said that the French players usually like Inferno as well. We're straight into the next pistol right now. Chaos will have all of his hands full as a push already coming through.
Great start coming through for John G, but they've got to find out this last player towards the back of the site. Lambert deals with one, but the bomb plant goes down, and now the retake's on for LDLC.
Yeah, right now, Haji and Lambert already, of course, finding their kills themselves. As we said, yeah, bomb has been planted. Peter peeking in. No, both of them finding kills there, and Sheikh Zilla, of course, chiming in there as well. All down to 6 in a 1v3. Does somehow still stay in this. However, both other players at 100 HP. Does have a kit to be picked up. So does he expect both players into Shadow? Seems to be expecting someone to actually wrap around for him. The bomb's already ticked thus far. Nothing happening. Spongy to find that last headshot. Bad news bears wins pistol. And the ideal way to get straight back into this game.
That was very impressive. It was quite pacey, wasn't it, for the T side? It was quite quick in towards that banana take, get into the site, and while there were maybe some awkward duels being landed out towards that Coffin's position, when they got the bomb plant, it seemed like in terms of confidence, it only started getting furthermore in their side. They kept pressing forward, tried to trap the CTs and just take as many duels as possible. LDLC, though, we know what they're like with Deagles.
So that's why I never underestimate any of this. BNB had a quite good run with the Deagles earlier on as well, but LDLC seems to always just kind of come out on top. Maka yet again finding Swisher here early on. Was trying to make it out towards the A bomb site. Maka's fallen back a little bit further, but does still have support here as well. Haji chiming in, finding one on the headshot. Maka as well, getting straight back to it, and now all of a sudden it's down to Peter and Sheikh Zilla in this one.
Oh, flash comes in.
Immediate retake here as well.
It's just too easy. It's just too easy. The pressure on coming into the site like that. Bad news bears, it's like, right, we'll get the bomb down, we'll slow it down, we'll maybe try and give ourselves a couple of joules. That's not even possible, because LDLC are just flying through the motor smoke.
Just straight away. Nothing that you can do with Bad News Bears, to be honest, as well. You kind of feel bad for them. But yet again, I mean, LDLC, the first kill from Maka, the way that Haji was able to find 2 from Pip before actually dropping down. And then, of course, it was down to a 3-on-2. So if you do just all jump out, the likelihood that they find all those kills immediately is quite low, as you don't really expect it. And I love the fact that LDLC pick up the pace a little bit there. Do, of course, now have a couple of Galils, Mac 10, 2 M4s that they bought up themselves, and Bad News Bears straight under the 4s, as they need this right now. Otherwise, it's 12 for LDLC, surely 13 to follow. And it's going to be tough for the North American side to get back into this game here on map 1.
And even just that jump spot for Maka, it might only be a slight little gather, but just being able to read where the bomb's playing out from, where the large majority of T-side players have started off, and now with the smokes coming in, they're going to just commit with this.
Yeah, and right now Maka holding on for 1, but then dropping to the Tech 9, and this is now it for Lambert and Haji. Still just holding on, yes, dealing damage. But the T's, I mean, they need to find 2 kills right now, ideally get the bomb planted. Then it gets really, really dangerous. Chaos does find one as well. Haji, in the meantime, has lost his teammate towards the fight. However, all down to Swisher, and somehow they make it happen. They do lose a bunch of players, and it's really expensive for the CTs. And 12 rounds, and as I already said, 13th surely to follow here.
Yeah, sometimes we get players where maybe going into round 6, round 7, they can sit about 150 ADR, 160 ADR, and you can go, all right, fair play. It was early, there was a couple of double kills, triple kills. Haji is going into round 19, Tyler, and he's still at 114 ADR. Like, he is just putting up ridiculous stats here.
Yeah, and he's fielding a 2.6 KD when it comes down to it as well. As 26 kills, only died 10 times. is just really insane, and that's, of course, the best excuse you can have as a player. You say, well, okay, why do I have a negative KD? Well, quite easy. My teammate is getting all the kills themselves and just not leaving any for the rest of the team. Maka, yet again, though, he's been very, very strong on the CT side now when it comes down to mid-entries.
Just that jump spot chaos. If they can somehow bait that SMG forward of Lambert just to get as much money as possible, just allow a little bit more security that they can get that AWP going next into the rifle round for Maka. Might see 6 of double AWPing depending on how strong they can build up the bank. And for BNB, just hope that you don't get farmed in a round like this.
Yeah, Lambert chaos just all holding on, everybody grabbing kills, and right now, this is straightforward. This is the round where we just keep everybody alive. We just grab all the kills, maybe split them up between the players. But of course, this right here is now going to be one of the most important rounds because, of course, if LDLC go 14, they will probably be moving on towards a map point as well. The likelihood is very, very high. But of course, I mean, BNB, they're still missing utility. We know how important the utility is here on Inferno.
A nice little sort of deep middle smoke out towards the mid position just to be able to allow a little bit of aggression out to second mid if they do want to go for it. Instead, just try and hide back, be a little bit more passive. But even with the buyback coming out for BNB, you've got to give yourselves as many advantages as possible. And Peter just getting naded down to sort of start that round off. They have taken Banana control. LDLC, they haven't really been too keen on taking Banana a massive amount. It's in it sort of 1 or 2 rounds so far in the second half, but for the most part, it's just been them playing passive.
It is one way to play it, but at the same time, in the long run, you usually would want a lot more control there because the T's are then just going to take full advantage of that. However, Chaos to find Swisher, thanks to the Molotov, just yet again underlines the importance of utility here. At the same time, we have 3 more smokes, a couple of flashbangs, not really a whole lot to go on, but the flash comes in. Chaos trying to find control, trying to regain control late, and him and Sixer wrap things up. All down to Sheikh Zula. 1-on-4, and Mac already aiming on this. Will lose his battle, though.
Sheikh Zula, this is a very difficult game for him, I guess, for him to try and show himself what he's made of in EU. We know that he made a little bit of a name in the NA scene when he was playing for Singularity, then most recently over in Triumph, led them to a couple of decent runs in some championships, but now coming over towards this Bad News Bears side, being the most recent figure. Unfortunately, not being able to get any out of this. And what's crazy, too, for Hadji was the last time he played in a big Studio LAN event was when he was playing in ESL Pro League Season 10 with Wendigo. Remember when the Bulgarians had that slight international lineup for a little bit, and they had a couple, I think Mirbit was in part of the team, they had a couple of internationals coming through. So for Hadji, this is a big time for him to prove himself, and my goodness, is he doing it here on Inferno?
He's so strong. And to be honest, I couldn't even remember the time that Wendigo actually went a little bit more international. But yeah, it was Mirbit alongside Hadji, and then a 3-man core of Bubble, a Blocker, and Poison as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, they had a decent run at a couple of events, at least making it into the further group stages, not being one of the first ones out. Yeah, it already feels like ages to go, and of course, PS just always so much happening right now, though. Jonji and Peter trying to keep their chances alive in this one. It's all just come down to yet again LDLC finding their kills. Peter trying to make it more expensive for the CT side, but they're just not having any problems. Map point could be a very, very one-sided result here, as, I mean, the game shaped up to be exactly like that, though.
Yeah, I will be real. Would be nice to see something else out other than Inferno, and I'm sure that sort of going into the next map of the series, you know, get us a little bit more speedy and try and get us up and more involved into this best of 3, and hopefully that's where Bad News Bears get a little bit more confidence, because so far it has been a difficult time for them, especially on this T side. LDLC have looked even stronger coming into this second half. Early nades again coming down towards that banana position. Maka with the orb hasn't even really needed to use it, Frank.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, he doesn't really get too much of a chance when the rest of the team just is out on rifles, finding those kills left, right, and center. And right now, sure, Chaos is going to drop, but at least he's already found the information he will expect Sixer to be right behind this smoke. When the other player did actually try to go quite deep. in towards Banana. He's certainly now given away his position. Only be a one-on-one for the moment as Jonji's the only one remaining towards that area of the map. Oh, Maka spots out Shakezilla though somehow. Maybe he didn't. He finds a headshot in the end. So I mean, this is a big advantage for them now, especially as on the rotate. It all comes down to Sixer, who hasn't had the worst of games himself.
He's got to find a multitude of frags, and unfortunately it just doesn't happen. I'm even surprised Lambert's this close towards the site, rather than just backing off and just holding on to the M4s. 2 versus 4, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Sure, if he finds one immediately, then maybe, yes, there's a chance, but Peter does find that kill. Haji now in towards CT spawn. Just make sure nobody actually pushes him. Misses his shot, and with that, of course, falling back. However, they're hot on his heels. I think actually going back in towards kitchen, back in towards library, might be the right call to make. Just has to make sure he doesn't get flanked from this. And already Jonji, decent idea, and Shakezilla to shut him down. B&B not giving up just yet, but of course, there was money on the CT side when you win 5 rounds in a row.
That's the difficult margin, is knowing that you've worked hard to get to 7 and that you've ended the streak, but knowing that so much more is going to be left in terms of money in the bank for the CT side, in terms of survival rounds coming through for the North Americans. And for Bad News Bears, I mean, what's realistic here, Tyler? Getting up to 10?
Yeah, I mean, that might even be a time where then you start believing in them coming back, but of course, it's still a further way than that to come back from. Right now, though, this here right now from Swisher is a huge boost of confidence, I'm sure. I mean, if you do just drop down to something like a 16-6, you might have self-doubt going into the next map as well. Which, of course, going into Mirage, let's be honest, LDLC, I mean, they can play Mirage at times as well. They don't exactly have the best of track records at 31% win rate. But still, a lot of that was in Premier. They still managed quite decently.
Now, we know that for Bad News Bears, they've come away with a few victories in the last few months. Obviously, qualifying for Pro League Season 14, coming through the ESEA Premier spot of Season 36, and not the most recent one, in which Team 1 was able to get that qualification too as well. Bit disappointing for them at the RMR. They weren't able to win a series there at all. A couple of the Cash Cups, some Grand Final placing. Seems like Godsent was really their rivalry when it was back over in the States. And that's Haji getting up to his 30 bomb, trying to save onto that M4 too. And that's the difficulty of trying to get a comeback, is that while you might still be putting rounds up, Haji's not slowing down.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, he's still fielding a 2.5 KD when it comes down to it. So, I mean, that is very, very strong. Sure, LDLC have been taking a lot more of their timeouts, but yet again, all they need to do is win one more round. So, I mean, you can now decide to take a couple of timeouts. There's no reason, and then all of a sudden, Bad News Bears being back to a 15-12 or something along those lines, and you still having 2 or 3 timeouts at your disposal. So you might as well take them a little bit earlier, rather than it all coming down too late. First timeout that LDLC took was back at a 9-2 scoreline. Margin is similar.
Yeah, very much so. LDLC, though, I don't know how similar this buy is to maybe what it was back then. There is not a massive amount for them to work with. You've got the M4 onto Haji, got a bit of a stack going out towards his B site. Sixer might just try and flash them in. Nade stack comes in, gets evaded by the most part onto the M4.
Actually doing quite well with that flashbang coming in. Does he flash again over the house? Yes, he does. And now, of course, Wisher already seen that from a mile away. Peter doesn't care that he's fully flashed. Still finding that kill on to Chaos. At the same time, I mean, Chaos was flashed as well in his own game. So, of course, unfortunate to lose a player there. But your chances on the CT side aren't really that high. They stack over towards A, which can't really blame them. If Bad News Bears goes over towards B bomb site, hang on to this M4. That's one rifle that you don't need to buy in the next round. Sixer and Matka, they can buy without any problems. And of course, thanks to the loss bonus then coming in, starting to come in on their own side, then the rest of the team can buy as well without any event.
does seem like they are going to be running into this. He sets up, switch up, just waiting for them to push through the smoke, and maybe being a little bit too forward there coming through for LDLC rather than just waiting for that smoke to dissipate. They just decide to push forward of it. There's already a player out towards CT, so there should be no chance this M4 survives. Yeah, easy kill for Jonji. It is only an eco though. They'll be able to buy a round going into the next, and we should see an orb coming through onto Maka.
Yeah, Maka picks up the AWP as well. Lambert only going to get a FAMAS thanks to, of course, there not being enough money in the team to supply him with an M4. And for him, it's a lot more important to have all that utility at his disposal as well. Pretty much what are they missing? Haji and Chaos both are not going to have a Molotov. But apart from that, they have everything they would want to have when it comes down to utility as well. Of course, bad news bears, they have a little bit of leftover cash, but not really that's going to carry them any much. Is really when it comes down to it. As soon as LDLC went around, this first map is done and dusted, so it's not really that they have to keep too much cash in their pocket in case they lose a round. Just have to make sure that they, well, at this rate, when they still win rounds, they will have enough money to buy anyways. They lose up to 4 players in a round win.
Very silent. Very, very silent. Like, you've got this lurk for Jonji out from the apartments, but outside of that, there's not really a massive amount of information being given away from B&B. They are looking to make their way into the A site, and there is 3 players in total up at this short position.
And with the smoke coming out towards long, then of course, well, they're looking to go towards apartments and short right now. Maka right now just holding on, does have to support the rest of his team to his side as well, does find one. How aggressive is he going right now as it works out? Hanji finds a double himself. It's all going to be down to Shakezilla. What a way for LDLC to be into this one. It's now 1-on-4 to try and shut this map down on their own map pick. Sure, Shakezilla able to find one, finds a second as well. He's not done just yet.
Not at all. Try and get the bomb back up and into the side, but not to be. 16-9 the scoreline out for LDLC.